Man, they lost all their negotiating, their leverage deal when they got rid of Olmark. When they had Olmark, they could have lowballed him. They got rid of Olmark. It's like, oh, back up the Brinks truck. Get me like 15 more Ridge wallets because I'm going to need them for all this cash you're going to be paying me because you got nobody else.
Yeah, but hang on a sec here. But at the same time, are they willing to put all their eggs in his basket because he split time last year with Allmark? Like, he was not their full-time goalie. Who was the Boston Bruins starting goaltender last year? Can you say definitively that it was either one of those guys? I can't. I can tell you who their starting guy was in the playoffs. I can say who it was in the playoffs, but I couldn't tell you who it was during the regular season.
It's true. Game 1 was Olmark. He crapped the bed versus Toronto, and then it was Swayman. But to paint the full story, though, so everything was quiet on the arbitration. I would assume that they would have finished it at some point, but then Spit and Chicklets of all podcasts came out and said, hey, apparently they lowballed him. They gave him 4 years at $6 million. And then Cam Neely goes out and says, hey, Spit and Chicklets is the Logan Paul of hockey podcast, which I had a pretty good chuckle at that. I thought it was pretty funny.
God love you, Seabass. I think you're great.
And then he says, hey, man, I got 64 reasons why I'd be playing, 64 million reasons why I'd be playing. And then all the heat starts to get turned up on level 10. Hey, we offered the guy 64 million. You better take the deal, otherwise you're going to look really greedy. And then, 3-4 days later, they accepted 8.25 instead of $8 million. And then he comes in. But what an interesting world. I still stand behind. I understand where they're coming from. Generational wealth for your family. You're setting the benchmark for everybody. Swayman said that how many times, and setting the benchmark for future goalies that are coming out to arbitration or for UFA. But man, the drama in the media, it could definitely do without that.
It's all part and parcel, man. It's all part of the gig. It absolutely is.
Well, you had a big negotiation though. Like when you were at the top of Winnipeg radio, having I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of listeners every single morning for your show, you had some big negotiations too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and listen, that was very much under scrutiny after the fact too, where a lot of people kind of said, "Whoa, we had no idea radio announcers could make that much money." And it's like, well, listen, how well are you negotiating? So from that aspect, I understand it. If you're a good negotiator, go and get some. And if
I could draw parallels, sorry to interrupt you. If I could draw some parallels though between you and them, you came from the approach of, okay, you're making X amount of dollars.
Yep.
I'm making peanuts and I'm the shit muncher down here. So I know what value I bring to you to make that. So you better give me a bigger slice of the pie or you're losing me. And if I know that the manager or the owners are making 2.3, 2.4 billion, I get it. You split it up 100 million per salary cap per team. I know that, you're chinsing us a little bit. So you better pony up a little bit more cash. The cap goes up, everybody else makes more money. I get both sides.
Yeah,
to play devil's avocado here.
Me too, and absolutely. And I'm in a non-union job, right? So I've got to look after number one. My salary doesn't necessarily pull someone's up or pull someone's down, but in the NHL, the PA absolutely has negotiating influence on these contracts.
So what do you do if you're Swayman and you're Shesterkin? What would you do? You guys need a goalie. Sign me. If you got $12 million to put, well, not at one time, but if you had $12 million in your bank account, what would you do with that cash?
Man, I don't even know. I'll tell you what, though. Okay, I'm going to draw this over to baseball for a second here. Pete Alonso with the New York Mets. He signs a one-year deal worth $24 million with the New York Mets, and he pumps out a home run in the wild card series. And all of a sudden, he became worth it. No one's going to question that contract. He's got them into the conference series now, right? He's got them in. Pete Alonso was part of that. But if he didn't, I guarantee you there'd be a lot of players going, oh, we're not going to see one of those again. So if you got to put up or shut up sometimes, man.
You didn't answer the question, though. You get $8 million in your bank account. What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to take you and I on a very nice golf trip.
Ooh, that sounds great. You know what I would do? I would open up a cafe, and I would just sell croissants and coffees, and I'd just be a little baker. And have like little corgis in the place, too. Call it the Corgi Coffee Cafe.
You would go broke because you'd always be sold out because you would be drinking your own coffee. You'd be sold. Sorry, sold out. I drank it all again.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Sling the Biscuit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
Pop culture.
politics, a little bit.
Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.